I'm Richard Behney, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message.
My name is Sue Lyle from Carmel, Indiana. I'm voting for Richard Behney, Republican candidate for United States Senate, because he's a constitutionalist who believes that we need to bring our country back to what the Founding Fathers intended. Richard Behney is a conservative candidate who will go to D.C. and fight for the freedoms that we as American citizens cherish. Richard Behney stands for fiscal responsibility, smaller government, states' rights, and a strong national defense. I believe that Richard Behney is the only senatorial candidate that will go and fight for we the people. He owes no allegiance to anyone but God, his country, and his family. Again, my name is Sue Lyle, and I am voting for Richard Behney for United States Senate.
Paid for by the Richard Behney for U.S. Senate Committee.
I'm Richard Behney, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message.
My name is Amelia West, and I live in Brownsburg, Indiana. I'm voting for Richard Behney for U.S. Senate because I am furious with government takeovers of banks, automobile companies, student loans, and health care. I am furious with overspending and the refusal of our congressmen to balance budgets just so they can continue to serve their own interests. I am fed up with career politicians that have been in office for years and say they really don't care to follow the Constitution. For the challenges we face, I believe we need to elect people with real-world experience. Richard Behney owns a plumbing business and has served in the U.S. military. He has the courage to be a different kind of senator. My name is Amelia West, and I am voting for Richard Behney for U.S. Senate.
Paid for by the Richard Behney for U.S. Senate Committee.
I'm Richard Behney, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message.
My name is Cheryl O'Cull, and I'm going to vote for Richard Behney because he has the attitude of our forefathers that serving in the U.S. Senate should be for a term limit and then return to work at home. He does not want to become a career politician. In his heart, he has a burning desire to serve our state. I say again, serve our state, and not build his political future. He believes strongly in the United States Constitution, and he is boldly conservative. He is a man of faith in God and in the good of his fellow man. He believes in states' rights and personal freedom that is being taken from us day by day. If there was ever a time for a businessman with a good head on his shoulders who has not been in the political arena to step forward to take his place in the battle being waged in Washington, this is definitely it, and Richard Behney is definitely that person.
Paid for by the Richard Behney for U.S. Senate Committee.